Welcome to Litbit channel. Today we will see the Srinivasa Ramanujan by C.P. Snow. Let's see summary of this prose. Describe the circumstance that lead to Ramanujan sailing to England. How did it help him to attain fame and recognition? In introduction part, C.P. Snow, Srinivasa Ramanujan is an extracted of his book Variety of Men. This particular prose on Ramanujan is taken from the biography of mathematician Hardy, who is known as a person of discovering Ramanujan. This prose describes about Hardy's interest on Ramanujan, his invitations of Ramanujan to London, and their contribution to Max. Through it talks about Ramanujan. Every details was given from the perception of Hardy. Next topic of the summary, Hardy was a world famous mathematician working as a professor at Cambridge University. As he was a famous mathematician, he used to receive manuscripts from people all over the world. Mostly they dealt with the wisdom of Brahmi, revelations of Jews' protocols, and insinuations of Shakespeare's work in Bacon. In 1913 January, he received an untidy envelope from India. The sheets inside were not clean and written mathematical theories in non-English script. He looked at these signs with no interest and soon felt bored by it. Most of the theorems were wild without any proof, and some already known. Hardy got irritated by it and left it aside to start his routine work. Everyday activities are dilapidated by the envelope. Every day he used to read Times newspaper while having his breakfast. Then from 9 to 1 p.m. he might give lecture to the students or work on his own finding in Max. He used to have a light lunch and then play tennis in the university court. That day he could not concentrate on anything. The wild theorem of the Indian started disturbing him. He doubted the Indian either a fraud or genius. He could not come to the conclusion, so he called for his friend Littlewood. They decided about the theorem in Hardy's room. The narrator calls it is an occasion on would like to present about the response and discussions of Hardy and Littlewood about the works of Ramanujan. They understood that those letters were from the genius mathematician. Hardy decided to invite Ramanujan. Then Hardy decided to invite Ramanujan to London before sending the manuscript to Hardy. Ramanujan has sent it to two more Max professor in London, but they could not evaluate the knowledge of Ramanujan, which was judged correctly by Hardy. Hardy decided to invite Ramanujan to England with the help of Trinity College, which funded many genius. But they needed a certain amount of help from the superhuman ones. This statement proved in Ramanujan's life. Though it was easy to bring Ramanujan to London, they actually needed the support of a superhuman. The superhuman is goddess Namakkal. Ramanujan was born in a Brahmin family who considers crossing ocean as forbidden. He was working as a clerk in Madras. His mother was a conservative who followed Brahmin tradition strictly. Surprisingly, she allowed him to travel to London by describing her dreams in which she saw Ramanujan sitting in big hall among the Europeans. So also stated that it was the commander of Namakkal. Ramanujan was a self-taught person. In 1914, Ramanujan reached London through Ramanujan did not believe much in theoretical doctrine. He believed the rituals. They both had a close friendship. Hardy throughout that Ramanujan was untrained genius. Due to his poor knowledge in English, he could not pass his degree in Madras University. So when Hardy talked about general things in English, Ramanujan looked confused. Even in Max, Ramanujan was a self-taught. Hardy once thought that if Ramanujan had got good education, he would be easier in knowledge. Later, he corrected himself by thinking that Ramanujan would be wonderful if had better education. Hardy taught Ramanujan some formal Max. They both produced 5 papers of highest knowledge. age. The Royal Society of England elected Ramanujan as a fellow at the age of 30 and also received a fellow from Trinity. Ramanujan was the first Indian to receive such honor in England. Taxicab number incident took place in the hospital. The climate of London made him to be ill soon. He was admitted in a hospital in Putney, London. The famous taxicab number incident took place in the hospital. Hardy went to meet Ramanujam in the hospital by a taxi. He started the conversation by stating that the taxi number in which he travelled was a dull number 1729, which activated Ramanujan. He replied immediately that was a very interesting number by stating smallest number expressible as the sum of two cubes in two different ways. This shows the intelligence and interest of Ramanujan in maths. The two ways are I presented here. Conclusion of this prose: Ramanujam died of tuberculosis in Madras at the age of 33. In his apology, Hardy mentions the list of great mathematicians who all died at young ages. Galileo died at 21, Abel at 27, Ramanujam at 33, Raymond advanced initiated by a man of past 50.
இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தால் மறக்காமல் லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள், கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்கள், சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணி கூட இருக்க பெல் ஐக்கனையும் ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணுங்கள். தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் வாட்சிங்.